The Crusades saw those vital commercial ties between Western Europe and the Eastern Mediterranean emerge again. The rediscovery of ancient Greek manuscripts like Aristotle and Ptolemy, and new advancements in medicine, science, and navigation gleamed from the Islamic world, all of which will transform the nations of Western Europe from cultural backwaters into nation states, and later, for better or for worse, into world empires. These advancements coming into Europe, combined with advancements inside of Europe to produce the great cultural prosperity and flourishing that characterized the High Middle Ages. In the early Middle Ages, it's the Roman Catholic Church and its network of monasteries springing up across Europe that are offering untold advantages in the wake of the collapsing Roman Empire. Those monasteries were one place, and in most places the only place, where one could learn to read and write. Even if monarchs sponsored schools in their kingdoms, like Charlemagne did in the Carolingian Renaissance, they were typically connected to local cathedrals. But in the High Middle Ages, the decrease in barbarian invasions and the increase in food production brought about the return of urban centers in Europe. And these ever-increasing populations demanded that a local cathedral school offer more courses outside of theology and philosophy. That way, they would serve the needs of this ever-growing population, particularly in areas like law and medicine. So with the prosperity Europe is enjoying in the High Middle Ages, monarchs can afford to sponsor something other than warfare. So we have the founding of the world's first universities during the High Middle Ages in order to meet these needs. The progression through a university is very much like that of medieval guild. The word university actually comes from the Latin universitas, coined by students in Bologna, Italy, as a means of maintaining high and rigorous academic standards. In the same manner, an aspiring shoemaker would pay money to serve as an apprentice to an established shoemaker who is already part of a guild. So anyone aspiring to be a scholar would progress through the university system and its classes in hopes they could become a master, in this case, a member of the faculty. Initially, these cathedral schools taught the threefold arts of the trivium, grammar, logic, and rhetoric, and then offered the more complicated coursework of the quadrivium, namely music, arithmetic, geometry, and astronomy. Only after students mastered these subjects would students of promise go on to more advanced coursework in theology and philosophy. At the University of Paris, for instance, students would study the liberal arts for 6 years. If they ever wanted to teach theology, they then attended lectures for another 5 years, and whatever lectures were given by a professor during these 11 years were expected to be memorized and written down by students before nightfall. These students then completed their master's thesis, a paper or commentary that would advance scholarship in a meaningful way, which was akin to a shoemaker creating one awe-inspiring shoe. Then those prospective students would present their thesis to the faculty at their university, and that panel of masters would decide if that student had proven themselves worthy of joining their ranks.